Our top story tonight is a horrific murder. Friends say it was a feud between brothers that turned deadly. Cops say the victim is in pieces in as many as 3 places. Cops are searching for clues in 2 counties, Northampton and Berks. In Berks County, they've been collecting evidence in Birdsboro and Union Township. One man who friends identify as Stephen Austin, the victim's brother, was arrested in Birdsboro earlier today. Cops spent much of the morning searching his Jeep for evidence. They also combed through the nearby French Creek State Park. We're told that it appears the victim was killed in Upper Mount Bethel, and that's in the far northern tip of Northampton County. Institute Road was closed for the investigation in the township earlier today, and here is the same Jeep police were searching for clues in Berks County, now parked outside the State Police Belfast Barracks in Plainfield Township. Well, this is a story that is still developing at this hour. We have 2 reporters following it for you tonight. WFMZ's Karen Millette is at State Police Troop L headquarters in Reading, and Mike Lowe is live at Troop M headquarters in Bethlehem. Let's start with Mike and the latest there. Mike.
Well, good evening, Wendy. We are awaiting word from investigators as to exactly what happened here. We are told that a press conference has just gotten underway to give the details so far of the investigation. But earlier today, we spoke with the best friend of the alleged victim. Dawn Rudy says 22-year-old John Austin was one of her best friends.
He was a free spirit, you know. He played the drums, played the guitar, played the keyboard. You know, he was very talented.
When Austin's mother went to the hospital, he went to live with Dawn Rudy.
John was like an older brother to my son. You know, he was there to talk to him and, you know, guide him.
She says that relationship was quite different from the one he had with his own brother, Stephen. She says that Stephen was always jealous of John.
John said to me one day, "I don't know why my brother doesn't like me." And I told him it was like Cain and Abel.
Dawn Rudy says that John Austin moved out of her home 4 days ago. That was the last she saw of him before he went missing. But it wasn't the last time she heard from him. Before he left, he wrote her a letter with a quotation from a Maya Angelou poem.
I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That's John.
Again, State Police investigators are holding a press conference as we speak to give more details about what happened, and we will bring those to you as soon as we know more. Wendy?
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Well, as we said, several of the victims' body parts were found scattered in parts of Berks County. Karen Millette picks up the story for us outside State Police headquarters in Reading. Karen.
Wendy, as you mentioned, the search for body parts took police to 2 different locations in Berks County, one in Birdsboro and one in Union Township. It all began in Berks County very early this morning when police pulled over an SUV and took the man who was driving into custody. He was brought here to State Police headquarters in Reading.
Everything's taped off, and it's really kind of scary, especially when I live like 2 houses down.
A gruesome discovery in the back of a Jeep Cherokee here on the corner of 5th and Chestnut Streets in Birdsboro. Police say body parts were found in the back of the SUV. The trash bags were picked up by the coroner. And a short time later, about 5 miles down the road, a man's torso found buried in the woods. The police activity made for a chaotic morning in this usually quiet neighborhood near Daniel Boone High School.
Seniors weren't allowed to go in the normal way we do. We couldn't come up through the street, and there was a lot of confusion, kind of. Homeroom was extended, so some things were messed up, but no one really told us why, but there was a lot of talk, so.
State police were on the scene in those 2 locations all morning here in Berks County. State police were also outside a home on 2nd and Pine Streets in Birdsboro. We believe that to be the home, according to neighbors, as that of Steve Austin, who we also believe to be the man who was brought here to State Police headquarters. Of course, we're waiting for that press conference that Mike Lowe will be covering for us to learn more information about all of that. Neighbors say the family who lived in that house in Birdsboro moved in just about a month ago and were new to the area. We'll have much more for you coming up tonight at 5:30 on the Berks edition, including word from neighbors who woke to the sounds of sirens this morning. For now, we're live in Reading. Karen Millette, 69 News.
All right, thanks so much, Karen. We'll talk with you again in the next half hour. And that is the latest for now on that gruesome murder in Northampton County. We will have much more coming up on the Berks edition at 5:30 and then again on the regional report at 6. Well, the man accused of killing 6 members of his own family is going to trial for their murders.